Matt, and today I will be reading to you another SCP entry. This one is SCP-4369. And if you're not familiar with SCP entries, please note that they may be a bit creepy or disturbing at times, so if that is not something you want to listen to right now, there is your warning. Otherwise, I hope you enjoy it. Here we go. Item number SCP-4369. Object Class Keter. Special Containment Procedures. Foundation personnel posing as park wardens are to monitor the affected area utilizing two-man crews to patrol the perimeter and visually assess areas not covered by static surveillance equipment. The use of trail cam style recording equipment has been authorized to supplement Foundation patrols and detect instances of SCP-4369-1 and SCP-4369-2. Patrols are to be additionally equipped with one standard issue hunting rifle and scope. Monitoring satellites are to be scheduled to pass over the area no less frequently than 90-minute intervals. Imagery will be sent to Level 2 analysis for identification and confirmation of potential instances of SCP-4369-1 within the affected region. Trespassing warnings are prominently displayed in addition to liberal use of signage for a wildlife preserve, which harbors dangerous wildlife such as bears and mountain lions. A rough wooden ranch-style fence was constructed by the Canadian Park Authority, which faces areas most accessible by road, and a secondary 8-foot chain-link fence topped with barbed wire has been constructed around the entire perimeter and encloses the designated area. Description: SCP-4369 is an asymmetrical area of wilderness covering approximately 106 square kilometers, designated as the Redacted Wildlands. The area begins roughly 10 kilometers south of Redacted Lake in Alberta, Canada, and extends to cover a large ridgeline. At intervals observed to be no shorter than 72 hours and no longer than 90 days, SCP-4369 will spawn an instance of SCP-4369-1 somewhere within the boundaries of the park. SCP-4369-1 is a 2-story, dilapidated log cabin-style radio station bearing signage designating it as KFYR. Although the specific placement varies, the exterior of SCP-4369-1 is always accompanied by a 15-meter tall radio broadcast tower that appears to be functional but is covered in substantial amounts of rust. After materializing, the KFYR radio station will begin broadcasting on a band of redacted kilohertz at a signal strength that allows it to be picked up by standard AM/FM radios at a radius of up to 50 kilometers or more. This signal is highly degraded and is badly marred by static. Signal quality does not appear to either improve or worsen with respect to the source. Field Log Excerpt 4369-14. The broadcast radius for SCP-4369 appears to be growing. At first, the broadcast was only going as far as the shoreline of the nearby lake, since it's a tourist-heavy area, especially in the summer. Seems it always found a schmuck around there to snare, but lately, after we enacted some travel restrictions and invented that algal bloom to keep people away, we started picking up the broadcast a lot further out. My buddy, Mac, told me that a level 0 got the broadcast during his lunch break, and they're like 250 miles away. I don't know, but this thing gets hungry, and there's no telling what its maximum reach is if it can't get what it needs. What if this thing gets so hungry it starts picking on more than one guy at a time? This is dumb. Just set the stupid station on fire, and please lift the travel restrictions. The broadcast itself appears to feature one adult male with a baritone voice reading news and local events for a township named Vosburn, although no record of such a township exists in the vicinity of SCP-43691. Individuals interviewed by the Foundation after hearing the broadcast describe the show's host as resigned and almost melancholy, and that they did not enjoy listening to his program. Listeners report a desire to change the station any time they come upon the broadcast, and could not recall any specific details of its contents other than the broadcaster's voice. See Experiment Log 43691 for additional detail. The dangerous properties of SCP-43691 manifest shortly after the beginning of its broadcast, when a single listener matching its selection criteria has entered its broadcast range and is in proximity to a standard AM/FM radio. Any radios near SCP-43692, regardless of functionality, will turn themselves on if necessary, and tune to the frequency of KFYR. Once exposed to the broadcast, this person is then designated as SCP-43692 and is considered to be under the effects of a cognitohazard. Instances of SCP-43692 who breach the perimeter of SCP-4369 are to be terminated on site. However, if this person can be detained prior to entering the area of SCP-4369, Class B amnestics have proven effective at neutralizing the threat. Instances of SCP-43692 generally fall within these criteria. Gender, male. Age, 16 to 25 or 55 to 70. Ethnicity, no restrictions. Relationship status, single or divorced. Family status, estranged or otherwise distant. Economic status, near or below the poverty line. Individuals designated as SCP-43692 begin to demonstrate symptoms similar to acute paranoid episodes, wherein they claim the broadcasts of SCP-43691 sound crystal clear, and the show's host is speaking directly to them and asking for help, and he is trying to warn them about an impending calamity. The behavior of SCP-43692 will become progressively more manic as their urge to document and explain the broadcasts of SCP-43691 begins to grow at a steady but aggressive rate. The demonstrated behavior for SCP-43692 is to secure an AM/FM radio and then isolate themselves nearby and begin unorganized coverage of the broadcast. While in this nesting phase, affected individuals seem to welcome and encourage others to review materials and help them document their findings. SCP-43692 has demonstrated the ability to spread this cognitohazard to other individuals who express a genuine interest in their activities during this phase, regardless of this person's comparison to the preferred criteria. Individuals who become involved in these activities are also to be considered instances of SCP-43692. Works created as part of this documentation process include but are not limited to short notes, maps, arrays of Cartesian coordinates, organizational charts, crude diagrams, sketches of unknown individuals, after-action reports, and police-style person of interest reports. Researchers note 43691. Thankfully, the works created by instances of SCP-43692 do not appear to possess any anomalous properties themselves, or do not appear to be capable of transmitting the cognitohazard. These documents are to be catalogued for future correlations, and then the originals are to be destroyed. Over time, the physical and mental health of all affected individuals gradually worsens due to malnutrition and exhaustion. At an indeterminable point, the original instance of SCP-43692 will declare that he knows what he has to do and will abruptly leave his nesting area. This individual will gather up and lead all other affected people towards SCP-4369 using the most practical available means. While traveling, SCP-43692 will observe conventional laws and customs of travel, but will try increasingly aggressive means to circumvent any barriers. To date, this includes, but is not limited to, the destruction of property, grand theft auto, and even murder. Once entering the area designated SCP-4369, the individual will proceed with all available haste to the instance of SCP-43691 and attempt to enter the building. If successful, SCP-43692 will position themselves at the broadcast equipment inside KFYR and begin their own broadcast, which appears to interrupt the original signal of SCP-43691. The content of this broadcast can be clearly heard when compared to the original signal quality and includes a graphic prophecy of a township or village that will be destroyed due to a natural or man-made disaster. The duration of this broadcast includes an emotional recitation of events in this unnamed village, starting with the onset of the disaster. The story continues with the names of individuals, possibly including nicknames or pet names, as if the instance of SCP-43692 is intimately familiar with the people they are naming. If interrupted, SCP-43692 will share the microphone with other instances who continue to describe the timeline until the story has concluded. When this is complete, the original instance of SCP-43692 will return to the microphone and sign off the broadcast with the following words: Vosburn and its people can still be saved, if only you would listen, if only you would act. The broadcast from SCP-43691 will then cease as the Hume level of the radio station plummets, until no trace of the building remains. This activity appears to take any persons still inside with it, including instances of SCP-43692. To date, the described prophecies have all come to pass within 48 hours of SCP-4369-2's broadcast. 6 concluded broadcasts have resulted in the destruction of 6 townships or villages across North America, Europe, and Asia. The total death toll is unknown, but based on the census information, this number is estimated to be redacted persons. Addendum 1. Foundation analysis has been unable to find any record anywhere near the broadcast area of a modern city or township named Vosburn. World War II era records from the provincial government do indicate a small, primarily Dutch settlement named Vosburn did exist, according to tax information as late as 1954. However, the village only appears in records for a total of 4 years. Additional resources have been dedicated to an extemporaneous review of local historical records and oral accounts of the region's history. Due to the sporadic documentation and the broad range of time since the first mention of the name, results are expected to be slow and sparse. Addendum 2. A cascading series of gas line explosions in Montana was picked up by Foundation analysts monitoring emergency comms traffic. While the incident itself did not overtly appear to have an anomalous cause or to be the result of foul play, the event did occur approximately 36 hours after the first logged broadcast made by an instance of SCP-4369-2 from the station equipment at SCP-43691. Later analysis of SCP-4369 suggested a correlation between these 2 instances. See Addendum 3 for additional details. Addendum 3. On a redacted date, Foundation resources were forwarded a partial record of a radio broadcast featuring a single male in an emotional state, describing a sequence in which a number of homes would suffer gas line explosions. The subject heard on the recording lists names of families and identifies parents, children, and pets, and pleads with any listeners to help those named before it is too late. This information ultimately leads to the dispatch of a Foundation recovery team to investigate the anomaly. See Attachment 4369 for a record. Discovery Log MTF Epsilon 6 Village Idiots. Video log begins in the form of a first-person recording taken from the vantage point of E61. Systems check, check, and check. In addition to E61, 2 additional MTF members are seen wearing standard cold weather field gear. The 3 team members begin near a dilapidated wooden shelter with a weathered sign carved into a wooden post that reads, "Walking trail, do not leave path." The team begins walking down a dirt path that is in a state of poor maintenance. The time of year appears to be late fall. Walking continues for several minutes before the sharp sound of feedback interference begins coming from the hip-mounted walkie-talkies each team member possesses. What the hell is that? Didn't we do an equipment check? We sure did, Skip. Weren't we briefed on radio interference? Maybe it extends to other channels of communication too. Good thinking. Let's wait it out a minute and then we can... All 3 team members pause as the feedback stops and a yet unheard voice comes through the walkie-talkie. E63 unclips his walkie, brings it up to his head, and listens closely. What's this guy's problem? It sounds so sad. Something local dairy expo? Seasonal pies at the corner store? Scratch that. Corner diner. Affirmative. Let's move on. If it's radio chatter, the desks will pick it up and document, but leave your radio on just in case something useful comes through. That radio station is a good 3 kilometers off yet, and I don't want to sit here like stupid helpless ducks on the approach. Several more minutes pass as the voice continues over the walkie. Is someone jamming our comms or what? Do you think he knows we're coming? Does who know? The voice on the radio. Do you think he knows? Maybe that's why he started. Negative, Bravo. It's all just nonsense, which I guess maybe strengthens that jamming idea. Let's turn these things off in case we are being watched. At this time, E61 and E63 turn down their walkie-talkies until they switch into an off state. E62 turns his walkie-talkie down to minimal volume, but further review of the recording shows that there are multiple mechanical indicators that the device is still on. Several more minutes of walking pass, and a view of the radio station comes onto the screen for the first time, several hundred meters up the road. There it is, Skip, the beautiful shining beacon of the great North Woods, KFYR. Should we stop a minute and record some pics of the approach? I don't see much interesting, but it's not like we're going to want to on the way out. Affirmative, Charlie. Snap away. E61 and E63 stop walking and begin to document their surroundings with pictures, but E62 continues walking towards the radio station. Bravo, chill out a minute. Negative, Alpha. This is just scenery, and we've got a job to do. E61 and E63 exchange a few moments of banter about the unflinching dedication of their colleague while finishing their photographic recording. They then pack up their equipment and continue on their way. E62 is several hundred meters ahead of the others at this point, and they lose sight of their third team member in the vicinity of SCP-4369-1. Bravo! Hold up! Several moments pass without a response or visual confirmation from E62. Turn your walkie back on and try and raise him. Bravo, do you copy? No response comes over comms. E63 then turns up his walkie, only to continue hearing the same anomalous broadcast that overtook their comms earlier. Still jammed, boss. Shall we? Affirmative. E61 and E63 double time the rest of the distance until they reach SCP-4369-1. E61's camera pans up and takes a long look at the large rusted sign with the block-style letters KFYR before panning back down to look around the building. The two team members ready their weapons and walk around the building counterclockwise until they come upon 3 steps which lead up to a partially opened, badly degraded front door. E63 positions straight on with the door and cautiously approaches. He pushes the door open with his hand, and it creaks and groans as it swings inward. A faint light can be seen from the room inside, but the majority of the image is washed out by the contrast from natural light. E61 gestures with his rifle, and E63 enters the building. The two proceed to clear the room, which appears to be a receiving or waiting room with a secretarial desk and multiple chairs. The carpet inside is badly rotted, as well as the ceiling and the wallpaper. A single light fixture in the middle of the room is yellowed, but it appears to have a functional incandescent light source inside of it. The desk against the wall is badly rusted and is covered with a number of papers, most of which are yellowed with age, dirt, and an unknown viscous substance of a dark brown color. E63 approaches the desk and runs a finger through the dark brown substance and brings it towards his face to smell it and examine it. It's not blood. Smells organic. Rot, maybe. Like stuff that rots so bad it turns to goo. Let's bag and tag a sample. Maybe think about masks going up too. E61 approaches the desk and secures a sample of the substance in a standard evidence collection vial, and then secures the vial in a standard evidence collection bag. As E61 finishes his collection procedures, the broadcast which had been running on E63's radio cuts out to silence, but the channel remains open. The sound of someone clearing their throat can be heard. I hope someone can hear me. God, I hope you're out there. Someone. Anyone. Upon realization of hearing E62's voice, E61 and E63 regard each other and wordlessly resume clearing the building at a more desperate pace. We were warned about this. And I'm warning you now, before it's truly too late. At this time, E62's voice begins to sound substantially weaker, as if he is fighting off tears or a fear response, or is otherwise struggling to compose himself while speaking. E61 and E63 clear another room, which appears to be an open office, with 4 desks in a similar state as the desk out front. There is a small electronic oscillating desk fan atop one of the desks, badly yellowed by age, with the fan gauge badly caked in dust. It's going to start soon. At first, it's just an innocent mistake. George can't handle his liquor anymore. And you know how he smokes when he drinks, but he'll pass out. First the carpet catches, then the couch, and George is the first to go. Poof, Crispy, then Tina, Summer, and Bailey are trapped upstairs. Most of the guests get out, but they'll be way too close later. E61 and E63 proceed down a hallway and clear a small kitchen, which features a badly run-down refrigerator, microwave, and small coffee pot. The sink is splotched with a black, inky material visually distinct from the brown substance in the previous rooms. The pattern of distribution indicates the material may have been expelled by the faucet. E61 does not stop to regard a sample, and the pair continue down the hall to a break room. This room features several chairs and tables, most of which are overturned. A human skeleton lays supine on the break room floor, with a hand stretched out in the direction of the doorway. The clothing has been rotted to tatters, and the bones are badly desiccated. The fire spreads to the neighbors, the Fosters first, both of their dogs, their little girl, London, then her mom. Steve is out of the house because he works nights. E61 breaches a flimsy door made of what appears to be particle board, using one strong push from his shoulder. The door flies open and slams into an interior wall, and the camera snaps to what appears to be a small recording booth in a state of serious deterioration. There is a lone, recessed light in the ceiling, partially illuminating the room, and some of the papers in this booth appear fresh and not in a state of advanced decay. E63 is seen breaching a similar door on the opposite side of the hall, revealing a similar recording booth, except papers of any sort are absent. It doesn't take long from there. There is a long vocal pause as E61 and E63 find a staircase going up and begin to ascend.
God, this is all so senseless. I'm spilling it all out. Why don't you call? There's still time. Charlotte's oxygen tank ruptures from the heat.
E62 loses their composure in a moment of sobbing. E61 and E63 reach the top of the stairs and head down the hallway. At this point, an open doorway midway down the hall can be seen with light coming out. There is an audible sound of sobbing that matches up with the sobbing heard on the radio. E61 and E63 break out into a sprint. E61 rounds the doorway and centers his camera on E62, who is standing in a broadcast booth with a pair of headphones on. A faintly lit on-the-air sign hangs down from the ceiling and is backlit by a green light. Tears are streaming down the face of E62, as well as other visual cues that E62 has been crying at a substantial rate for a number of minutes. E61 levels their weapon at E62, and shortly after, E63 can be seen to do the same for the peripheral of the shot. Bravo, step away. E62 slowly shakes their head in a negative response as their lip trembles. Bravo, you know the procedure. You need to step away now before we have to contain this. I can't. Someone has to warn the others. Someone has to speak up. They're all gonna die. Why won't you listen? Why won't you help? Bro, we can't help you if you won't cooperate. It has to be me. I have to do this. I have to finish the warning. I know what has to be done. E61 and E63 regard each other sternly. E63 nods once, curtly, to his team lead. E61 pulls the trigger on burst fire, and E62 drops to the ground, apparently dead. E63 immediately moves in and begins to rip apart the broadcast booth to the best of his ability. E61 approaches the downed Bravo and appears to check for vitals. The full extent of any wellness checks is unknown, as several procedures appear out of frame from the camera. There is a loud burst of feedback interference on the walkie as E63 destroys the primary microphone, but then the interference cuts out and the walkies appear to resume standard function. Omega lead requesting evac. 1 man down. We should get the earplugs out at least. Calling this a cog for now. The video ends as E63 steps back and crosses over the body of E62 and out of the frame. Attachment 43691, partial record. Partial broadcast recording. The following is a transcription of the partial radio broadcast forwarded to the Foundation, which leads to the discovery of SCP-4369.
And with the final backdraft, Charlie and his wife will succumb to the flames. The thing that hurts most is that I know no one is listening to me right now, in spite of everything I've said, everything I've done to warn you. I have to play Falseburn and his people, they can still be saved. If only you'd listen to me. If only you'd act. This is KFYR signing off. Good night.
And that is it. I do hope you enjoyed it. And I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.